Hi friends, it's Dawn Thompson and welcome to your mini Truth Tribe. This is a recording because I am going to be gone on Monday, and so when you hear this it will be your Monday. I will upload it then, but I'm Dawn Thompson and we're going to give you a mini Truth Tribe update. Remember, as I share with this info with all of you guys, you're perfect in this now moment and nothing is wrong with you. And remember that I love you and I dump pink hearts of love down on you in my meditations daily. So my daughter is graduating on this Monday and I'm going to be at a ceremony, so I won't be able to log on, but I'll be back next week, so no big deal. And it's a big day, so here's your mini update in the universe that you're not crazy and you're not losing it. All right, so transformation truths are coming up. I know a lot of you are all feeling this karma building up, and between the Schumann resonance, again, you can look all these things up if you're not aware of them. The solar flares are going off like crazy. There's a full moon. There's an eclipse happening. Your personal karma is appearing, and it's Mercury retrograde. A lot's happening on top of other alignments and planets up in the sky that you're not even going to be aware of. So there is a lot going on forcing us through the eye of the needle. And so a lot of you are probably feeling off and like somewhat almost like in a dream. All right. And what's happening is truths are appearing to help you transform whatever appears. And for some of you, it's arguments. Some of you, it's physical stuff, physical experiences in reality. Some of you, it might be all kinds of emotions, experiences like that. So I wanted to bring this up just so you guys got this mini update of not letting it frustrate you, because following anything that's coming up that you don't like or that you've been working on and it's like reappearing, following its appearance is typically what you wished for starts to come in to replace it. And we're going to talk about in a second, I'll explain why. But the big ones right now that everybody's feeling, okay, or experiencing, and symptoms that are coming up, and I don't want you to think you're losing your mind. I'm hearing it all the time, is exhaustion, head pressure, ear ringing, lightheadedness, zinging in maybe your limbs, your skin, even headaches that are kind of coming and going. Clearly, if you're having major things that aren't going away and they're just getting, extreme, then fine, seek help. But this is stuff that shows up and then it goes away and then you're like, it's so weird, right? It's all to help you squeeze out the rag. It's almost like you're a rag and you have that last little bit of water in you. And it's squeezing us out of the old and into rebirth. And so Monday, today, when you're watching this, is a full moon in Scorpio, which is a sign of death and rebirth. Okay. And so this is exciting because the part that we're in, that we're moving into and we're transitioning into, is the part that is the rebirth, right? And so please don't forget that you are all warriors and you are not afraid to complete your karma, right? You are not afraid to complete the things that keep reappearing and revisiting you, going, oh, no, I just need to complete that. I need to face it, stare it down, feel it, see it, express it, understand it, sit with it. Because the second you sit with anything that's appearing for long, maybe 15 minutes to a half hour, it just goes away. But if you keep pushing it away, it wants you to see it. So don't resist, don't push away. The phrase that says what we resist persists is what that means. So instead of resisting, just let it show up. Let the pain show up. Ask spirit, what does the pain teaching me? Ask your pain what's teaching you. Ask what the argument is teaching you. Ask what the fear is teaching you. Ask what the memory is teaching you. Because that karma, when it comes up, just wants you to solve it. And solving it makes your lighthouse brighter. And lighthouses are what this humanitarian planet is becoming. Full of beautiful lighthouses, right? So simply said, focus on what you want instead of what you don't want from this point forward, because that's what this entire planetary alignment is trying to do. So here's your mini update. Okay, we're going to jump right into a mini planetary update so you understand. If you weren't on last week's call, go listen to it again. But here we are. Starting last week, we went into Mercury retrograde. It will be here till June 3rd, so it's not going anywhere. On Monday, so we have a Mercury retrograde, we have a full moon on Monday, we have a lunar eclipse on Monday, we have the solar flares going off, we have squares and trines happening left and right up in the sky, and it's all affecting all of you because of the full moon, and you're feeling it pull in. Why? Because the full moon sits in the sign of Scorpio, the sign of secrets and the sign of change. Okay, so Mercury retrograde in Gemini can speak to increased communication mishaps, right? Like not saying it right or trying to communicate better, looking for things. So the good news is the rebirth is going, I don't want to talk like that anymore. What do I need to do? Stuff will show up, mini YouTubes, a book, an idea, a thought. That's the rebirth we're going into. So please don't see this as doom and gloom, because it's not. Okay, so back to the full moon. The full moon is going to be an eclipse full moon, right? And so full moons, you all know this, they mean closure of what you are putting to bed, okay? And so it's like ending a chapter. It's illuminating all things that usually you can't see in the dark, right? So now it's almost like these things you were avoiding, you didn't want to see, they were coming up. They're as easy as light of day, okay? And so it's also a lunar eclipse. So the lunar eclipse now is when the moon is sitting over here opposing the sun. So they're in this tug of war, okay? So when they're in opposition, they're fighting for our revealing of the past, showing the necessity of change and letting go. Okay, and the sun's like, I want to shine, you got to let go. I want to shine, you got to let go, okay? So the Scorpio moon is for you to reflect upon how you will respond to life and move forward with the changes that it presents. Because the sun says, if you let this stuff go, we're good. But it's going to combo you and go, I want it. No, it's taking me, it's saying I can't have it because this took me down, and this is, it's not. All it's saying is we got to let this go so we can keep shining. Okay, so if you've been dragging your feet, you guys, on anything, I keep reminding you this, an eclipse will be sure to give you an extra push or a shove off the cliff, as I've told you, to needed action. Okay, and these eclipse moons, basically they just expedite the inevitable. Okay, so, you know, these events were going to happen eventually. You just were kind of putting it off. Eclipse season has started. Again, we talked about this. It's going to come again in October, another set of eclipses. But right now we're going to deal with this one, okay? And so they can feel overwhelming. Like I told you, how the feelings, all the symptoms that are coming up, scary, maybe frustrating if you weren't expecting a turn of events to happen that comes up during this time. Now, again, the turn of events typically are to stop you from doing something over here or look at it so you can make an intentional choice and choose to go over there. Especially since this lunar eclipse, full moon, is sitting on the south node. It's conjunct, as they would call it in astrology. So here's the planets up here. Here's the full moon sitting on top of your south node, all the universe south node. Okay. And what it signifies is what needs to be released. Big question. Okay. So this is going to be up to you guys to make it uncomfortable. Here's the fork in the road, right? Or to accept rebirth. So uncomfortable, I'm going to stick over here, or I'm going to choose rebirth. And any completed contract, as Scorpio represents karma in the past. If this is pushing you to look at it, see it, feel it, discuss it, think about it, and go, I don't want that crap anymore. I did a mini meditation or mini visualization in the last Truth Tribe. So if you missed it, go listen. And again, if you don't have the Truth Tribe or you're not registered, go onto my website, IDeserveItNow.com, tap on Truth Tribe, tap on registration, register. It's right there. The replays are all in your dashboard, Truth Tribe dashboard. Okay, so if you haven't, or if you are a member, go into the dashboard and re-listen if you missed it. But if you're going to release the past, you're going to take up a thought and go, I don't want this anymore. I don't want this pain anymore. I don't want these kind of relationships anymore. I want to evolve to a higher, brighter life. This energy doesn't serve me anymore. Imagine it's on a piece of paper, on a contract, tear it up, throw it in the fire, real or imagined fire, and then write a new contract with your new name and throw it up like a feather. And again, I did that visualization in last week's Truth Tribe. Go back and listen, even if you have to fast forward to kind of the 3/4 part to listen. It's time, and you're going to keep doing it over and over and over. You guys, you got this. I believe in you. There's nothing wrong with you. Everything you're experiencing, you're ready for it because we're going into the rebirth. Things are starting to open up for you. It is time for you to choose you. You are all badass warriors. I love you. I believe in you. And I will see you next week. Have a good night. Brightest blessings.